Good morning, guys.
At this time, I would like to invite Mrs. Spangler, representing our blue team, and Mrs. Johnson, representing our white team, for the presentation of our students.
You may be seated.
Audra Wimmer.
Anna Gorski.
Morgan Kelly.
Peyton Burns.
Sage LaCoe.
Gabrielle Carpenter.
Ali Rothenberger.
Mario Piersimone.
Right there, buddy.
Grace Rossini.
Owen Kresge.
Natalie Van Gordon.
Giada Gaidula.
Anna Puchalowski.
Priscilla Kowal.
Meredith Duffy.
Madeline Phillips.
Adele Rogai.
Nicole O'Malley.
Lily Lindeman.
Bradley Newman.
Anna Pivorato.
Alex Arroyo.
Caroline Sabatini.
Gray Schubert.
Madison Clark.
Nevea Roth.
Carol Martinez.
Riley Mullen.
Grace Hoban.
Julia Schuster.
William Watt.
Kayla Malott.
Damian Jones.
Olivia Kasperkovich.
Guinevere Dady.
Avery Vineski.
Kate McAllister.
Grace Davison.
Joseph Vignola.
Madison Smith.
Kyle Casillas.
Ava Kochmer.
Anna Pasternak.
Sabrina Q.
Lindsay Bartell.
Angelina Chapin.
Grace Brodnick.
Sage Wetstein.
Deja Duckworth.
Mary Ross.
Vida Gonzalez.
Vanessa Badalamente.
Gracie Dotterer.
Elsiana Phillips.
Jacaylee Horton.
Maeve Walsh.
Parker Mancy.
Adriana Fenton.
Isabella Rinaldi.
Ella Tusher.
Olive O'Rourke.
Megan Matos.
Lauren Bartell.
Piper Dillo Bauer.
Jay Jagtap.
Enola Scott.
Alec Lynch.
Macy Arcure.
Maya Loyacano.
Matthew Boyd.
Michael Ann Osborne.
Max Chernin.
Christopher Begley.
Jonathan Gonzalez.
Tanner Shane.
Peter Tayun.
Solomon Grusin.
Iris Arcuri.
Liam Farrell.
Hannah Goma.
Evan Fenton.
Grace Bennett.
Hosu Kim.
Lily Frankowski.
Harper Paulman.
Isabella DeRigi.
Kylie McCracken.
Lillian Davis.
Ariel Ruth.
Tyler Fritch.
Grace Davis.
Emily Dodge.
Gabriel Rollison Martinez.
Maura Phillips.
Olivia Spear.
Stephen Turok.
Paige Moran.
Liam Christian.
Lilia Calvert.
Bennett Leon.
Joseph Pullman.
Jason Casper.
Cohen Werner Brooks.
Clark Deffendorf.
Nina Totino.
Lucas Keston.
Daniil Dempsey.
Adam Goma.
Michaela McDaniel.
Tess Keller.
Cody Brown.
Andy McGinnis.
Nicola Pugliese.
Luciana Gonzalez.
Right there.
Natalie Gerliacci.
Stella Cuff.
Caitlin Pagnani.
Tori Miller.
Zarina Borsma.
Veda Dickinson.
Elena Kelly.
Lily Norris.
Kalia Darby.
Leo Masha.
Sienna Wilson.
Colby Ryan.
Stephanie Bray.
Allison Lynett.
Caroline Gadare.
Karina Sabo.
Chase Durkin.
Lucas Ruan.
Tyler Sachs.
Molly Rooney.
Emery Yeager.
Theodore Patrika.
Taryn Dimmick.
Maeve Piasecki.
Holly Lynett.
Kylie Kehoe.
Samantha Carr.
Sydney Moyle.
Layla Weeks.
Gianna Shevchik.
Tate Finnerty.
Tommy Bradley.
Maggie McAllister.
Matthew Bednar.
Madison Niemeyer.
Danny Dulcetti.
Grace Karras.
Gianna Vecchino.
Gabriella DiMatteo.
Macy Ramsey.
Emma Kwiatkowski.
Ava Lawless.
Delia Davis.
Dylan Usinski.
Brian Telford.
Mason Lenahan.
Anna Lodi.
Josh Sun.
Emma Burian.
Nicholas Martirano.
Alexia Real.
Gavin Phillips.
Jonah Kahn.
Finn Goldberg.
Kate Peters.
Anthony Severs.
Riley Yanko.
Dominic Pasqualicchio.
Rocco Serafinko.
Ashrith Goli.
Cole Pasco.
Orion Gross.
Thomas Bidwell.
Aiden Gardner.
Aaron Chilari.
Jack Lazo.
Hunter Wally.
Zachary Magnata.
Oliver Riviere.
Jack Shoemaker.
Titus Schultz.
Catherine Hasty.
Samuel Rivera.
Isaiah Fordall.
Alexis Poplawski.
Austin Lyons.
Evan Gonzalez.
Nikolai Popov.
Andrew Husissian.
Jacob Barish.
Alex Armstrong.
Mia Vendrell.
Caitlin Grant.
Aaron Hufford.
Ethan Burke.
Emily Dennis.
Wyatt Duggan.
Stephen Gasper.
Timothy Fogley.
Joseph Arcuri.
Andrew Kettle.
Philip Matthews.
Nathan Barrett.
Joshua Miranda.
Autumn Beamer.
Molly O'Boyle.
Liv Grunza.
Abigail MacDonald.
Charles Ruther.
Melanie Pichaki.
Chase Bierman.
Emma Rogalevich.
Corey Egolf.
Andrew McDonald.
Sesher McHugh.
Adam White.
Mark Barbrack.
Leolin Reese.
Alec Allspaw.
Preston Baker.
Lillian Skoblick.
Reese Zaleski.
Jacob Laird.
Daniel Fritch.
Nico Bustos.
Ryland Lenahan.
James Mitchell.
Jared Cook.
Shane Lipless.
Stephen Nagel.
Kirill Viniamin.
Lucas Stankowski.
Caden Mower.
Benjamin Rodriguez.
Anna Beck.
Nathan DeMeglio.
Jalen Barbie.
Jeffrey Stanton.
Benjamin Reese.
RJ Gernhardt.
Gavin Lindsay.
Frank Shalfie.
Aaron Remick.
Navin Singh.
Mason Mernon.
Jack Walsh.
Aiden Kane.
Enzo Capozzi.
David Teig.
Jordan Schaefer.
Connor Glynn.
Gavin Anders.
Benjamin Shanauer.
Seamus Kelly.
Kyle Warwick.
Caleb Melissa.
Kiki Beck.
John Rogan.
Jackson Wickenheiser.
Nicholas Rodriguez.
Brendan Doherty.
Ryan Brighton.
Daniel Beck.
Ashley Cologne.
Derek Williams.
Asia McClendon.
Herschel Patel.
Tino Persimmone. Lauren Walters.
Jason Smith. Gabriella Lappy.
Layla Michaeliga.
Kaylee Stanton.
Charles Stampian.
Leon Al-Ramadin. Olivia Phillips. David Zurich.
Sona Hanamali.
Thank you, Mrs. Spangler and Mrs. Johnson. Today we'll have the opportunity to hear from a number of our distinguished 8th grade students who exemplify the very best of this year's class. We received so many requests to speak and it was very difficult to choose, therefore all those sitting behind me. Today, it's my honor to introduce our MCs for today's program, Sona Hanamali and David Zurich.
David, switch, please.
What? Oh, yeah.
Good morning and welcome to the 2022 8th grade Class Day program. My name is Sona Hanamali.
And my name is David Zurich. It is our distinct honor to have been chosen to serve as your MCs for today's program. Our time at Abington Heights Middle School has been marked by a number of significant events.
Those events shaped us into who we are today. However, today will likely stand out in our memories for the rest of our lives. Today is the day that we say goodbyes to Abington Heights Middle School and prepare to begin the next important chapter of our lives.
It is our pleasure to represent you, the graduating class of 2026, as we celebrate our accomplishments, both as a class and as individuals. We hope that you enjoy today's ceremony.
The 8th grade class boasts a wealth of talent in the performing arts. As we entered the stadium today, you heard the members of our 8th grade orchestra performing Canon in D. We would like to thank Mrs. Kuzma and the 8th grade orchestra for recording that beautiful rendition for us. Please join us in a round of applause for the orchestra members who performed this morning.
We now invite you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing as two very talented members of our class, Morgan Kelly and Audra Wimmer, sing our national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A few weeks ago, our teachers solicited applications from students to write a reflection for today's ceremony. A number of 8th grade students have been selected from the applicants to offer comments to our classmates during today's program. Please join me in welcoming our first student speaker of the day, Olivia Phillips.
Good morning. As we leave our beloved middle school, I realize how much progress we've made since 5th grade. In 5th grade, I was a quiet kid. I'm sorry.
Tippy toes.
Okay. In 5th grade, I was a quiet kid who never had many friends and drew all day. In 6th grade, I was lonely every waking second of the school day. In 7th grade, I got my act together and made 2 incredible friends, and I thank them every day for making me more confident. Finally, in 8th grade, I made more companions than I could have ever wished for. You know who you are. As we all know, by the end of our 6th grade year, we went into virtual school. I thought I'd be happy away from my peers, but I'm not even going to lie. I cried. I missed having amusing interactions with my classmates. I missed my teachers, and I missed sitting at a school desk and listening to my teachers and peers. In early 7th grade, I was indifferent to COVID because I never talked to any of these new teachers and students in my life. When we went into hybrid, I was in a classroom with only 9 students. I connected with those students, and most of them listened to what I had to say. When the entire class came back to school, I had fun talking to everyone and hanging out with unique people. At the beginning of 8th grade, I was awkward. I slowly made friends in each of my classes, my favorites being social studies and Spanish honors, because of the people and the teachers in them. I thank my teachers for making my 8th grade year enjoyable. I thank my classmates for making me feel like I belonged. I thank my friends and my sister for being there when I needed them most. And most of all, I thank my mother and father for pushing me to new limits. I thank Mr. V for being witty and teaching me math the right way. I thank Mr. Boyler for setting up the DC Leadership, mock Congress, and mock trial. I thank Mrs. Johnson for all of the discussions about the books and stories we read. I thank Mrs. Haynes for introducing historical literature such as Animal Farm in 1984 to me. I thank Mrs. Bloom for making science exciting and interesting. I made a lot of unforgettable memories this year. I'm sure you did too, but we need to look ahead towards high school. We confront many challenges. I'll need to encounter the challenges of trying out for the mock trial team and getting straight A's in all of my honors classes. I know I can do it, and I know you can overcome your struggles no matter what they would be. We will conquer high school together. Thank you for your time, students and teachers of 8th grade. It's been a pleasure knowing you all, and I hope you feel the same way about me.
For our second student speech, please welcome Charlie Stampian.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. My name is Charlie Stampian, and I am very honored to be able to deliver this speech in front of the AHMS 8th grade student body and all others in attendance, including Mrs. Leonard, Mr. McGarry, and of course, all the teachers and staff that have helped me throughout my journey at the middle school. Michael Jordan once said, "Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run to a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it." High school is going to be a big change for all of us, but I think we are all ready. It will provide new obstacles, but I believe that every single one of us is prepared to face them. Our 8th grade class has already been faced with hurdles that we had to overcome, like virtual, hybrid, and masking, and we took those head on. I remember making the transition to Abington from a small private school and being shocked by how smooth it was. I quickly made new friends, and they have played a big part in my life throughout my time at the middle school. In February of 5th grade, my sister Grace was diagnosed with leukemia. It was a terrifying time for myself and my family. This treatment would last through my 5th, 6th, and 7th grade years here at Abington. Then, in September of my 8th grade year, my Aunt Erin was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and unfortunately, she passed away this past April. Thankfully, I had a major support system made up of my peers and teachers, which made me feel like I always had someone watching out for me. My 5th grade teachers, Mrs. Wiley and Mr. Bragan, were extremely thoughtful, and I would just like to thank them from the bottom of my heart. Without them, I do not think I'd be the same student I am today. Those two teachers embody what I believe the Abington Heights school system is all about. Everybody needs help sometimes, and every single member of the AHMS staff is willing to help whenever they can. This year created memories I will never forget, like the Washington, D.C. trip, the many shuffleboard games, and the basketball season. The student section at those games were unmatched, and we ended the season off with a championship. The crowning jewel, though, was the upset we pulled off against the teachers in the faculty game. I did not just learn academics here at Abington, I also learned many valuable life lessons. Mrs. Chuff taught me the true powers that word hold. Mr. Bragan taught me how to balance work and fun. Mrs. Shimko taught me that taking your time is more important than finishing first. Mr. Grasso taught me that there is always a chance to improve. Mrs. Wiley taught me what sports teams not to root for. And Mr. Asaro taught me the true value of hard work and discipline. Of course, I would like to mention every teacher that has affected my life, but then we'd be here till our high school graduation. Speaking of high school, can you guys believe that we're graduating middle school? We are entering a brand new chapter of our life, and I feel like it crept up on us. It feels like yesterday. That was the first day of 8th grade, and we all looked like we were zombies from the new sleep schedule. And as I look into the crowd now, I can see that some of us still haven't caught up on our sleep. We, the class of 2026, have the power to create change. The high school will provide us with the tools to go about this, but it is our job to use them. We are innovative, creative, and hardworking. We just need to use our words to create change. As the great Rocky Balboa once said, the mind is your best muscle. Big arms can move rocks, but big words can move mountains. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie and Olivia.
At this time, we would like to welcome our next student speaker to the stage, Gabby Lappy.
Thank you, David. Good morning, students, staff, guests, and guardians. My name is Gabriella Lappy, and it's an honor to have the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm a part of this spectacular group of students, and in the past 4 years, the class of 2026 has grown and learned together as one. We have all been through so many challenges in these middle school years, such as COVID, virtual learning, and as well as missing out on social face-to-face interactions with your teachers and your friends. The bond we have made together in a span of 4 years is unmatched. I would like to thank the 8th grade teachers as a whole for doing their absolute best to help us succeed and get ready for high school. I would also like to acknowledge a few familiar names such as Miss Marcho, Mrs. Musgrave, Mr. DeSarno, Mrs. Steenback, Mrs. Sanders, Miss Leah, Mrs. Bamford, Mr. McGarry, and Mrs. Leonard. We have so many memorable moments that we will never forget within the middle school walls. That will always be a part of who we are and our future. These 4 school years had many memorable moments, such as watching our principal, Mrs. Leonard, get taped to a wall, watching teachers get slimed and jump into the lake, and our amazing field days. Some of the best moments this year were our Blooket games, which I've never seen any of us be more competitive in. When Mrs. Chuff and Mrs. Fitz would stop and tell stories, when everyone would look for Ben's Chromebook when his brother Nick had it, the daily Mrs. Spangler afternoon announcements, either about after-school algebra or leading up to the D's trip, which felt like if you even breathed, she would call you out. And the random splurges of energy from Mrs. Rogan when she played the Backstreet Boys. with that being said, we're all on to bigger, better adventures in this big step of our lives. And I wish you all nothing but the best in your next 4 years in the high school. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Layla Michaeliga.
Thank you, Sonan and David. Good morning, fellow classmates, administrators, faculty, staff, family, and friends. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Layla Michaeliga. Some of you know me for my loud laugh. Others may know me for being rambunctious in some classes, while I may be quieter in others. It's true, I do have a quite shy side. And the more nervous I get, the more I talk, as you will see with my speech. Today, I stand before you as we conclude the end of our chapter here at Abington Heights Middle School. A chapter that was not written long ago, but contains memories that will forever shape us in our journey as we continue to venture onto the high school. I honestly was not sure of what 8th grade would bring this year, as most of our middle school experience was far from being normal. When our 6th grade year was cut short and virtual learning took place, I realized more than ever how much all of you meant to me. I have never minded being stuck behind a screen for FaceTime, Instagram, TikTok, or Snapchat, but for virtual learning, it was less than stellar. The teachers did an amazing job, but I missed the sense of being part of a family, which is what I view many of you as. To my classmates, looking back, we have overcome so many obstacles, and to be here today, being able to express how much all of you mean to me is an honor. Just like you, I have made memories I will hold on to for my lifetime, and all of you have become a part of them. Some of my most memorable highlights from 8th grade have been singing with all of you in the cafeteria, watching Rylan and little Andy roast each other in a big huddle, our trip to the state park, and of course, Washington, D.C. As I look out in the crowd, I see some amazing teachers seated before me. Teachers that taught from the heart and not just a book. Teachers that took time out of their personal lives to ensure success was in our future. And teachers that have forever impacted my life at Abington Heights. Mrs. Spangler, even though it was math class at 8 a.m. in the morning, I definitely talked your ear off. But that's only because we had such a strong connection. I felt comfortable about telling you a lot, and you've helped me through a lot. The secret's out. We all know that you and Miss Burrell were ready to get rid of Amy, our tour guide, on our trip. Miss Burrell, where can I begin? You always had us laughing and laughed right along with us during our 4th period reading class. It was such a treat having a younger teacher whom Grace and I could teach slang to. Sorry. Like the one time when we were talking about dogs, which are feet. You've never heard this before, and I remember laughing so hard because you thought they were called that because they looked like hot dogs. It still brings a smile to my face when I think about this. Mrs. Chuff, I remember reading my homeroom assignment on the letter in the mail and being so scared because I was in your homeroom. I thought you remember me from throwing a tennis ball during a fire alarm when I was in 5th grade. I was wrong. You always made me laugh and helped me when I struggled. You're one of the most kind and hearted people I know. And let's be honest, English was not my strongest subject, but you helped me to gain confidence in the subject area. Mrs. Fitz, your class was one of my favorites. We had fun debating and playing games before a quiz. I remember laughing until my ribs hurt with being so competitive in a game, and Andrew made a shot that none of us thought would go in. In my mind, I am still celebrating that victory. Mrs. Rogan, without a doubt, your class was my favorite, and not only because you are such an amazing teacher, but also because you allowed me to be me. I constantly had my hand raised to answer questions, ask questions, and tell stories, and you never dismissed it. I learned so much from you, and you have played such a large role in my career decision. Lastly, Ms. Marcho and Mrs. Musgrave, two of the biggest helpers we've had in our team. I both enjoyed morning talks and joking around with you both. I have to say, this team was stacked. It was full of amazing teachers that I will never forget. Thank you all so much for all you've done for not only me, but for the whole Blue team in becoming ready and prepared for what was about to come. At this time, I would like to especially thank Mrs. Leonard and Mr. McGarry for allowing us to be true to ourselves. We were not the easiest class to work with or deal with, but then again, what 13, 14, and 15-year-olds are. No matter what the situation was, you both did the best you could to assist us in developing those problem-solving skills. Lastly, I would like to thank our administrative team, Dr. Shaver, Dr. Vitale, and especially my dad, Mr. Mirabelli. Your support as superintendent, assistant superintendent, and acting superintendent truly opened my eyes to just how much you do to provide a safe learning environment for all of us, one we can definitely take pride in. I'd like to conclude by asking my classmates to look around at all those that are surrounding them today, your teachers, family, and friends, and realize what an important role they play in our lives to help us achieve our goals and upcoming opportunities. If we can overcome all that we have in the last few years, I know we can achieve anything we set our hearts and minds to. So here's to everlasting friendships, memories that will never be forgotten, and most importantly, all of you for supporting us throughout the last 10 years of our education. And remember, 8th grade, it's all about the climb, and there's pizza on the other side. We made it. We are officially on our way to the high school. Thank you.
Thank you, Layla. Please join me in welcoming Leon Al-Ramadi to the stage.
Hi. I remember the first day of school when I went to the class and the teacher wanted to take attendance. She grabbed the paper and looked at it so weird. She's like, Leon, Lion, Leon. And I thought, oh no, that's my name. But after a few days, teachers started saying my name correctly, but they still ignore my last name because my last name is Layani Ramadin. So like, I know right now a lot of people, what is this weird last name? Really, my last name is so hard. So you know why teacher ignore my last name. Let me tell you my story. My name is Layani Ramadin. I'm an 8th grader. My school is Abington High Middle School. I lived in Jordan, the country of Jordan. I was sitting down, my parents came to me and they told me that we're moving to US. At the beginning, I was excited. I made a whole list of movies that I don't want to watch in the airplane. But I was sad because I will miss my family, my friends, my neighborhood, my country, and definitely the food. I went to US, I went to the school. At the beginning, I was homesick. I faced a lot of challenges. For example, I don't know anyone here. Also, like my English wasn't that good. So it didn't help me to communicate with people. Then After that, I was like, I want to go home. But after reading this part of poem, it was by القاسم الشابي ومن لا يحب صعود الجبال يعش أبد الدهر بين الحفر. And that's mean, however doesn't like climbing the mountain, or however doesn't like to or however scared from climbing the mountain will forever and live among the valleys. And that's also mean that if you didn't face your challenges, or you're scared from facing your challenges, you're staying without getting better. I faced my challenges, but it wasn't easy like how I imagined it. It wasn't easy like how the movie, like the main character, like faced their challenges in 1 day, 1 second, 1 minute. It's harder than you think it will be. After facing my challenging, by help of my friends, family, and my teachers, I want to thank my English and reading teacher for helping me a lot by fixing my English, by letting me read more books. And I want to thank my social study teacher. But before I want to thank my social study teacher, I will tell you the truth. At the beginning, I wasn't excited for social. Because I was like, when I saw the schedule, I was like, oh no, I have social study, that will be the worst. But after taking social study, it was interesting, fun, and I liked. So thank you. And I want to thank my science teacher for letting me like in bio. I didn't like bio that much, but I want to thank her for letting me like in bio and make me interesting with bio. And I want to thank like my math teacher. First thing, I won't forget math year at all. First reason, because of the Khan Academy I took every Thursday. And it was fun. And for letting me challenging myself and move up to algebra. So thank you. And I want to thank my parents, my sister, my friends, for letting me graduation from middle school. And I want to thank all of you for helping me graduation. And thank you.
Our next speaker is Kaylee Stanton.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family, faculty, and my fellow classmates of the 2026. I am sure we are all very excited to be here today. But before I begin, I would like to thank our teachers for their hard work and dedication. This mic is messing me up, I'm sorry. But before I begin, I would like to thank our teachers for their hard work and dedication to help us grow, not only as students, but as individuals. I also want to first congratulate all of us on this big achievement. We made it. We are officially done with middle school. Today, I, Kaylee Stanton, stand before you as a personification of conflict. I find myself on this podium experiencing numerous worrying emotions, and I am certain many of you here empathize with me on that point. Firstly, and perhaps most obviously, I am filled with a great sense of happiness and accomplishment. My peers and I have put much effort forth for the past 4 years, a third of our has allowed us thus far into being able to stand here today and saying we've earned the right to stand here. It was by no means easy, and there were many times when I thought I would not reach the finish line. But those struggles have only made this moment sweeter. The classmates who stand with me here today at the pit have survived 4 years off of Jolly Ranchers, Quizlet, plastic school lunch trays, and smart boards that don't seem to be very smart. The past 4 years have gone by so fast, it was like a blink of an eye. Sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory, is a quote by Dr. Seuss. I mention this quote because it really stands out and I feel as though we can all relate to it. When I first entered the middle school, I had no clue where the road ahead would lead me. I never thought in a million years that I would be standing here delivering the speech so soon, if that. I have made so many memories at the middle school, and until about right now, I never knew how important those memories were. Every single choice I have made and every moment I've had at the middle school has led me to where I am today. Here, delivering this speech, here with the attitude that I have developed over the years, here being a part of the class of 2026. I think our journey at the middle school as a class, as the class of 2126, has taught us so much about ourselves and has really made us stronger as people, let alone students. Think of it like this. We all started our middle school journey as tiny droplets of water. We were small and aimless, entering a building we didn't know with some others we had never met. After those first few days and classes, some of us became attached to each other. Together we started to form small clouds, each group working alongside each other to survive. As we grew and matured, these clouds started to come together. We found ways to move together and work together to create amazing things. We were a force to be reckoned with, but not feared. A tiny rainstorm dropping creativity and knowledge wherever we went. As the years went on, the small storm gathered strength. We spoke louder with great confidence, and we asked more questions. We let it be known who we were as individuals and as a group. More kids joined in, bringing strong winds of change and excitement. All of the elements of our collective storm have now gathered, and I believe we are ready to tackle high school as one awesome force of friendship, wisdom, and drive. Together, I believe we will take high school by storm, scooping out every ounce of fun and education in our path. I don't know about you all, but I'm itching to get out of here, and I don't think it's the freshly cut grass. So let me finish by saying this. I do not think I will ever meet anyone I do not think I will ever meet anyone quite like the people I have been blessed with the chance of knowing, being a part of this class. I know I will never be able to get back the memories I made at the middle school, but I want to thank each and every one of you for taking part in them. I especially want to thank all my 8th grade teachers, Mrs. Bloom, Mr. Boylan, Mrs. Haynes, Miss Johnson, Mr. DeSarno, and last and definitely least, Mr. Valello, the one who I thought that despised the most, but I really don't. Well, maybe I do. Anyways, I hope that high school brings each and every one of us amazing opportunities, and I look forward to seeing all of us grow twice as much as we did in the middle school, mentally and physically. I'm not gonna lie, but some of us are pretty short. Once again, congratulations in class of 2026. Peace out, middle school.
For our final speech this morning, please welcome Lauren Walters.
Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire.
quoted William B. Yeats. Education is critical. However, the most critical aspect of all is us. Look around at the kids you've known throughout the years and think about how much you have all actually experienced together. And now here we are, done with middle school, awaiting the next chapter of our lives. Middle school felt like a blur, and staring at the faces I've seen for the most demanding years of my life puts so much into perspective. Look at us, young adults, awaiting job interviews, gaining some freedom, but also having to face new and even more confusing situations. It's only 4 more years until we've all graduated. 1,460 more days until each and every one of us can say that we made it through high school. I believe in us. I believe in the future that we can create together. Even though all of us have our many differences, we are all finding ourselves. Everyone seems to forget that they are just that. Everyone. I can state confidently that all of us are feeling some of the same emotions. Anticipation, anxiety, and maybe even the bitter sweetness that comes with moving on to a new stage of life. All of us have been through the craziest days of our lives together. Even though you might look around and see kids you think you have nothing in common with, the truth is quite the opposite. We got through isolation, sickness, and the difficulties of being middle schoolers during a pandemic that shook everything about our society together. I look around, and even if we have our many differences, I am so proud of who I see. You should be too. You have gotten through so much, and you will continue to get through so much more. The fire is ignited, as William B. Yeats would say. The only thing left to do now is to make sure it doesn't burn out. You have the flames of determination. Don't let them die out. It's up to us. We are the future. And I think it's safe to say the world is in good hands.
At this time, we would like to recognize the members of the 8th grade class who, through their hard work, determination, and commitment, have earned straight A's throughout all 4 years of middle school.
Please welcome Mr. McGarry and Mrs. Leonard to the stage as we recognize these students.
First, I'd like to say what a fabulous job you've all done. It is not easy to stand up here. No one wants to hear me now. It's not easy to stand up here and look at all of you and to be leaving middle school and able to do it with such grace. I applaud all of you. Nice work. You make me proud to stand here with you. Okay, blue team. I have the honor of introducing you to the members of our blue team who have earned straight A's for all 4 years at Abington Heights Middle School. When I announce your name, please stand and remain standing until I announce all members of your team. Grace Bennett, Finn Goldberg, Sona Kanamale, Olivia Kasper-Kovitz, Ava Lawless, Allison Lynett, Nicholas Martirano, Maeve Piasecki, Molly Rooney, Julia Schuster, Jordan Schaefer, Charles Stampian, and Ella Tusher. Congratulations, blue team.
Thank you, Mrs. Leonard. Good morning, everybody. I was thinking today, when school first started, Mrs. Boersma, my secretary, came to me and said, "Mr. McGarry, every day at 11:10 you have your schedule booked." I said, "That's because I'm having lunch with a bunch of my best friends that are in 8th grade every single day." Thank you for that, guys. It's truly an honor to be here with all of you, the class of 2026. You are a remarkable group of young people, and we're proud. I will be announcing the 8 white students who achieved straight A's all 4 years at the Abington Heights Middle School. When your name is called, please stand, be recognized, remain standing until all the names are called. Mark Barbarak, Lauren Bartell, Chris Bagley, Nico Utos, Jonah Khan, Meredith Duffy, Aaron Dimmick, David Zurich, William Farrell, Timothy Fogley, Holly Linus, Parker Mancy, James Mitchell, Caden Moore, Olivia Phillips, Anna Pokolowski, Isabella Rinaldi, Allison Rothenberger, Caroline Sabatini, Lillian Skoblick, Sienna Wilson, Audra Wimmer, and Riley Yanko. Congratulations to all these 8th graders who are recognized for having straight A's. You all may be seated.
Thank you, Mrs. Leonard and Mr. McGarry. The time has come to say goodbye to our middle school days.
But first, we'd like to thank everyone who has made this day possible, including the PTA, the office staff, the school aides, our custodial and maintenance staff, and all of our teachers.
Thank you to parents and siblings, friends and family who supported this class throughout our time at HMS. But most importantly, thank you to our fellow 8th grade students, without whom this day would not exist.
Thank you for 4 years of hard work, dedication, and for 4 years of very enjoyable years of middle school. It was an honor to have been your MCs today.
We don't know what the future holds, and we don't know what the next 4 years will bring. But we can say for certain that with this class, high school is going to be a very fun and very exciting 4 years.
Thank you, David and Sona. Well, we have come to the end of our celebration. Your days at the middle school are complete. As your compadres have said, this is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Your time at the middle school has provided you with a lot of memories. They will always be with you. This is your day. Enjoy it. And the next chapter is yours to write. I'd like to especially thank all of our families for their support as we ventured through this year. I'd like to extend my gratitude to the teachers and staff of Abington Heights Middle School, to Mr. McGarry for always being my right arm, for without them, we would not be here. I'd especially like to thank our Abington Heights High School tech crew. They're like professionals around here for everything they've done to make this program a success. And to my